Good evening, South Tama Trojan fans. Welcome to Pin the Gym night here live at the Roundhouse. I'm Darvin Graham, and I'll be with you for the duration this evening. We've got a double-dual WaMaC Conference meet tonight between the Trojans and the Williamsburg Raiders and the CPU Stormin' Pointers. If you're just tuning in, which you'd have to be because we're just starting, we are in the early rounds of the first duel between Center Point-Urbana and Williamsburg. South Tama will have wall-to-wall action as soon as this duel wraps up. However, we do have some interviews and a coach's corner with head coach Nate Van Dyke. So lots of action to look forward to before we get South Tama Varsity up on the mats. It is a boys and girls dual meet today, so we're going to have both teams in action. We do have coverage on both mats tonight, so we can get you over to where the action is. And apologies as well, we do not have our scoreboard up on the camera, but we will get you scores as they happen. So make sure to listen in for scores and recap of the action here tonight from the Roundhouse. I'd like to say thank you to our sponsors. They include Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home, Salt Creek Wind, State Bank of Toledo, Sharn Weber's, Marquest Law, SNS Car Wash, Medicap Pharmacy, Iowa Premium, Mercy Care Tama, and the Tama Pump.
Walter, Williamsburg, Jenna Small, CPU.
So with only one home duel on the calendar for the Trojans this year, it is a packed night of getting a lot of things in one kind of sitting here tonight. And so this evening, I believe we have the South Tama Activity Boosters Pin the Gym event. So it's one of their winter fundraisers. They're having a raffle outside, free popcorn for those in attendance. And some festivities kind of happening just outside the door of the gym. It is also senior night for a group of, if I can count up their posters on the wall here, it looks like 3, maybe 4 seniors that'll be honored tonight. And I believe it is also Youth Wrestling Night, the TWE Youth Wrestling Club. I don't see a bunch of TWE t-shirts. No, it is not TWE Night. They did that at the intra-squad meet. So, but at any rate, a lot of things going on top of the actual wrestling itself. So plenty to get to tonight. And we're glad you're here. So we're going to jump into our Coach's Corner interview. We sat down with head boys coach Nate Van Dyke, got his thoughts on the past couple of events that the Trojans have competed at since the holiday break. We haven't caught up with them. It's been mostly basketball coverage here on Trojan Country's airwaves since the new year. And so here's what he had to say
JV action on the north mat.
A couple days ago after a practice.
Williamsburg, Oliver Brown, CPU.
Hello and welcome to another ST. Wrong interview there. Let's get that switched out. It's time for another Coach's Corner with STC head boys wrestling coach Nate Van Dyke. Nate, after getting ready for senior night here tomorrow evening, how are you at this point? We're catching up with you a couple weeks after the holiday break. How are things with you and with the team at the moment?
I think we're trending up. I think we've got some momentum built after this weekend. Coming off the break, we had some really good practices over break, and we was able to push the team pretty hard. On Saturday, we went to PCM. It was a big 15-team invite, and we were just out of first place by 4.5 points. So sent 5 to the finals there, and 5 champs. And every single one of our wrestlers wrestled above their seed outside of the 3 that were seeded number 1, and they all took first. So everybody else wrestled above their seed. The girls did well at Ogden. Ellsbury girls won it, and that was a 30-team field.
Yeah.
Autumn had a really big semifinals win over a girl from Osage that was the 1 seed. Autumn came out of the 4 seed.
Nice.
And then Monday, the days are running together now at this time of the season.
Yeah.
On Monday, took our JV squad to BCLUW, had about 19 wrestlers there, came away with 8 champs. The girls team was there. 5 out of 6 girls were champs there too. So I think we've got some momentum building and just kind of hoping to continue that.
With a lot of things kind of ramping up back to back and all the meets that you just listed, is fatigue an issue at this point, or do you feel like the kids kind of feed off of the energy of just having the packed schedule just going bang to bang to bang?
You got to find a balance. You can run people into the ground as well, but you got to have some rest days, some active recovery days, and then got to kind of have an idea where to push them too. So it is kind of a balancing act, and sometimes you individualize that a little bit. But January is a grind. The teams are competing a lot, and there's going to be a tournament or two where you're not going to compete at your highest level, and you're going to feel bad about some things. But important thing is to keep moving forward and not let it affect you moving forward into the postseason. But just kind of take it one meet at a time through January before we get too wrapped up in districts and regionals and that type of stuff.
Right. This PCM tournament you guys went to last weekend, a new one on the schedule for you guys. How do you feel like that went? Is it something you feel like you could see South Tama returning to? How do you feel just about that as an event?
I think we're going to go back at least for next year. 15 teams, and they had full 16-man brackets because you were able to take some extras. We actually had 2 on the podium at 132 with Mikhail Bear winning it, and then Chase Gustafson took 6th there. So nice. Smaller gym, I guess, but they did have 4 mats running, and there was one in the cafeteria, so it actually spread it out a little bit, so the gym actually wasn't so crowded. And then getting to see some teams that we don't always get to see. The idea was go west a little bit and south, because in the past few years we've had PCM in districts, and we've had Knoxville in our district and some of those teams. So getting a chance to see some competition that we haven't necessarily get to see throughout the year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that, or maybe some improvements that you typically see from kids at the January marker or during the month of January when things are kind of drawn out and busy? Where are those improvements seen the most, would you say?
I can tell you right now, what we're seeing is our wrestlers that are improving the most are the ones that are working the hardest in the practice room. They're most consistent with their drilling. When a coach says go do something, they're the first ones that are hitting those techniques, and they're focused through that. So that's the number one thing we're seeing. The underclassmen, it's going to be tough for in January, because we're going to hit a point where they've wrestled more matches than they ever have in a season before. The season's longer. Mm-hmm. If they're on varsity, it's tougher than maybe what they even thought it was going to be. I think sometimes you got to be a psychologist as well as a coach. Keeping them positive, and then if you do have a letdown, if someone gets down on themselves, then being able to build them back up for the postseason. Confidence is one of the biggest factors in postseason success.
Right. Looking ahead to senior night tomorrow night, what would you have to say, or kind of what's your thoughts about the senior class that's getting ready to depart? Maybe a tough time to think about that when so much else is going on in top of the senior night celebrations. But if you could pause for a moment and think about them, what would the thoughts be about this group?
Well, hopefully we have a big crowd there tomorrow night, and they didn't have many opportunities to compete at home. We had the inter-squad meet, and then our home dual tournament, and then this is it. So kind of an off year as far as not having a lot of opportunities to compete in the home gym in front of the home fans. So hopefully have a good crowd there. With only the 4 seniors, and then only one of them has wrestled all 4 years. Yeah. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because you don't have a bunch of seniors this year, but we've got a big junior class. So maybe we'll have most of our lineup back. But no, just appreciate all their hard work throughout the years. And if they just came out this year, then I appreciate them coming out for a sport. If they're trying something new as a senior, that's awesome. They're going to get a taste of what we like to think is the toughest sport you can do as an amateur. Yeah. So no, just tell them that we appreciate their hard work, and go out there and compete and show your community what you worked for.
At kind of maybe the halfway mark of the season right now, does your roster have any changes in terms of who you've got wrestling at a varsity weight, or any weight changes in the roster? Have any of those things materialized for you guys?
A little bit. You get some people coming back off an academic ineligibility or an injury. We've got Papaki back in the lineup, so that's kind of nice. And then, Marcus Bear went down to 182, and he's lost 20 pounds this year, so good sacrifice from him. But he looks healthy, and he's moving a little bit quicker than he was before. So I think that was nice. And we could have a few wrestle-offs down the stretch, but I don't expect that things will change too terribly much.
And looking ahead, what are some of the goals and sort of things that you're preaching to the group as they're looking to their next match, looking to the next week ahead?
I think just stay the course. You're going to have some ups and downs. Like I said before, January is a grind. Not everything's going to work out perfectly. Just stay the course. If you have a setback, don't let it affect you into that next week. Have a mindset where, hey, this hiccup happened and I'm going to fix it now. You go back in the practice room and fix it. And some of our best wrestlers that we've had, Isaac Judge would be one that just really comes to mind, where he might get really down on himself, but the next day in the practice it's time to fix it. So I think that's a good example that I can talk to the team about. But there's no way around it. There's going to be ups and downs, and it's a tough sport, and it's a tough month. But hopefully we can stay healthy and just keep moving forward, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the time. Best of luck to the Trojans this tomorrow evening and over the weekend as well.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome back live into the Roundhouse. If you're just tuning in, we are a little bit underway in the first duel of this Pin the Gym night double duel evening here at the Roundhouse. We've got Williamsburg and Center Point-Urbana up on mat number 1. South Tama will be up next after this duel is wrapped up, but we've got a little bit to go yet before we have South Tama action. It is boys varsity and girls varsity, so once we kind of get the Trojans up on the mats, it's going to be pretty quick and continuous action. But at the moment, we've got a couple of away teams. And we're going to jump over to another one of our interviews. This is a get to know the athlete interview with the lone upperclassman for the girls wrestling team, Maylee Ellsbury. We talked to her a couple weeks ago, and here's what she had to say. Hello and welcome to another STC Student Athlete Spotlight. Today I'm joined by Maylee Ellsbury. She's a junior wrestler for the STC girls wrestling team. How are you today, Maylee?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, good. How has, talk a little bit about we're kind of at the Christmas break. You guys have been, had a little time off. How has this kind of getting back into gear a little bit with the wrestling season after a little time off with the holidays?
I think it's good when we don't have to worry about school. I mean, it makes it easier to focus on wrestling, and we can focus on like our technique because we don't have as much tournaments and meets for a while, so we have a bit of a break from that. So we can like focus more on having some harder practices and stuff, so you have more time to recover.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about how long you've been wrestling and kind of what got you into the sport.
This is only my 3rd year. I started as a freshman, and I have a younger brother who always wrestled, and my dad took over our youth program, and so I was always coming in with him and just coming to practices, and I would just kind of wrestle around with some of the people. I didn't really know moves necessarily, but I kind of started beating some of them that I would watch go to youth tournaments and win, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, if I can beat them and they can win tournaments, I want to do it too.
Yep. What about the sport itself has kept you motivated, kept you coming back for the last few years?
I like the aspect that you get out what you put in. I mean, it's an individual sport as much as it is a team. So, like, we have our team part, but just if our team's not doing good, I can still do good, and I can put in extra time on my own to get better. And at the end of the year, it's an individual sport. As I get out what I want and work for that.
What's been some of the more challenging parts? What do you think about the toughest part of wrestling? What comes to mind?
I mean, practices are usually pretty tough, but a practice should be harder than a match, I feel like, and it just prepares you. So if I know if I can come in here and practice for 2 hours hard, I can go out there and wrestle for 6 minutes and dominate.
Yeah. What sort of goals and aspirations kind of do you have this season after a pretty successful run last year? What comes to mind there?
My goal is to go to regionals, win that, go to state, and win that too. Win a state title. That's my goal.
Yeah. As the girls' sport has taken off this year, what do you feel like you have to do as more competitors are kind of entering the sport to get better and kind of take the next step competitively?
This summer I did a lot of wrestling. I went on a couple different dual teams, so I got some pretty good matches there that I was put up against like other girls that have been wrestling and are at the level I'm at. I also went to a couple different clubs over the summer and just practice a lot outside because I don't always necessarily get matches during the season that are going to push me.
Sure.
And so I just have to find a way to put in extra time to make sure I'm getting better.
Yeah. So to finish out, we're going to talk a little bit, some more broader questions just to get to know you a little bit. Do you have any siblings or pets, and can you tell us about them?
I have 2 dogs named Ivy and Scout. Ivy's mine, and Scout's my sister's.
Okay.
And then I have a sister and a younger brother.
All right.
They're both younger.
And what are some hobbies or interests that you have outside of school, outside of wrestling?
I also play soccer, and I've run cross country the last 2 years. But outside of school, I just like to go outside, go fishing, hunting. I just like to go camping with my family and do things outside.
Yeah. Do you have any unique talents or skills that people might not know about or would be surprised to learn?
I don't know. Wrestling's kind of my
Thing. Yeah.
talent, I guess, my thing, yep.
Yeah. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be and why?
Something to do with wildlife. That's what I want to do after school. So I think either something to do with wildlife or my goal is to be a wrestling coach.
You win $1 million. What's the first thing you do?
Put it towards college and put it towards my wrestling career and maybe, put it towards wrestling.
All right. And if you could be an animal for a day, what animal would you be and why?
Probably a red fox. I just think they're really pretty.
Yeah. Right on. All right, we're going to end with some favorites questions here real quick. What's your favorite food?
Chicken.
Okay, like fried chicken, just baked? I mean,
I like
we
chicken
do
strips.
chicken a lot of ways. Okay.
I like a lot of meats. Like
Okay.
chicken, steak,
Got it.
hamburgers.
All right, what's your favorite book, movie, TV show, or video game?
I don't read a lot or watch TV. When I read, I usually read wrestling books.
Okay.
When I watch TV, I watch a lot of like outdoor shows.
Sure.
So
Sure. How about favorite music or music artist?
I don't really have one.
All right. How about time of year, season, or weather?
Spring, because I like to go outside and go shed hunting.
Sure. And how about favorite type of animal?
Red fox.
And favorite sport?
Wrestling.
All right. Thanks a lot, Maylee. That was STC junior wrestler Maylee Ellsbury. Located in the heart of corn and cattle country, Iowa Premium procures and processes only corn-fed Black Angus cattle that come hand-selected from family farms in Iowa and neighboring states. As Tama County's largest employer, the team at Iowa Premium are an anchor, not only in the beef industry, but throughout eastern and central Iowa. Iowa Premium, a national beef company. Medicap Pharmacy in Toledo offers free medication packaging and free delivery to surrounding areas. With convenient drive-up service and hours on Saturday morning, Medicap Pharmacy is always there for you. Visit with pharmacist Derek Townsend and his team by calling 484-6198 or stop by their location across from Fairway in Toledo. Medicap Pharmacy, locally owned and expertly operated. S&S Car Wash provides both automatic and hand wash services as well as detailing for your vehicle. S&S Car Wash, your local car wash destination with convenient locations in Toledo and Tama. As partners in the community, Salt Creek Wind Project is committed to supporting Tama County's growth in a way that benefits all residents. Construction on the project will bring hundreds of new opportunities for Tama County's workforce and will allow workers to gain valuable, transferable skills. Hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue generated by the project will help improve county services such as schools, roads, and emergency response. And the clean, emission-free power generated will support a more reliable delivery system in the county and beyond. To learn more about Salt Creek Wind or to join our coalition of supporters, visit saltcreekwindproject.com. Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home in Tama is locally owned and operated, serving Tama, Toledo, and the surrounding areas. Cruzy Phillips offers both traditional and cremation services at the time of need, as well as pre-planned arrangements that give you and your family peace of mind. Through competent professionalism, the staff at Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home serves families with compassion and respect for their needs and wishes. That's why they offer services with unique options and attention to every detail. Obituaries and funeral home information can be found online at cruzy-phillips.com or by calling 641-484-3400. If you believe in capturing meaningful moments, you've made it to the right place. The Farmer's Daughter Photography and TFD Films are a proud supporter of Trojan Country and South Tama County activities. Located near Conrad, the Farmer's Daughter Photography and TFD Films offer an array of photo and video services, including family photos, newborns, kids and seniors, weddings, and commercial media. Check them out on the web at tfdphoto.com or on Facebook and Instagram to learn more. S&S Car Wash provides both automatic and hand wash services as well as detailing for your vehicle. S&S Car Wash, your local car wash destination with convenient locations in Toledo and Tama. Sharn Weber's in Toledo serves central and northeast Iowa with the latest in heating and cooling systems, water softeners, plumbing and electrical installation, as well as expert service and repair. As a family-owned hallmark business from the South Tama community, Sharn Weber's is proud to support Trojan spirit on the field, on the stage, on the court, or in the classroom. When the job needs done, call Sharn Weber's at 800-542-7980. Trojan Country fans, come on down to The Pump, Tama, Toledo's #1 bar and grill. Located in downtown Tama at 218 West 3rd Street, The Pump serves up cold drinks, a warm atmosphere, and an amazing lunch on the regular. Check out the Tama Pump on Facebook for regular lunch and drink specials, as well as details on their latest events. Welcome back live into the Roundhouse. Darvin Graham with you here this evening for Pin the Gym night at South Tama. It is the Trojans hosting the Center Point-Urbana Stormin' Pointers and the Williamsburg Raiders. What you're seeing on the screen now is our first duel of the night between the two visiting schools, CPU and Williamsburg. These are varsity matches on mat number 1 here. We've got 2 mats running tonight here at the Roundhouse. We had the conclusion of the girls and JV matches a little while ago over on mat number 2. And I'm just going to quick give you some updates. First, what we're seeing here on the boys' side, we are at 170 right now. We started at 132. So far, Williamsburg has gone undefeated against CPU through about half of this duel. Up on the mats right now, it is Williamsburg's Carson Greer taking on William Gerhold of CPU. At 132, Caleb Moore got a win over Will Griswold of CPU by fall. At 138, Williamsburg's Niall Sin got a win by fall over Drake Pospisil. At 145, CPU was open and Brett Santiago took the forfeit win. At 152, Williamsburg's William Vindee won over Brody Burninghouse by fall. At 160, Williamsburg's Cale Moore took a win by fall over CPU's Tyler Foreman, and that takes us up to where we are right now as Carson Greer pins William Gerhold just a moment ago, taking us to 182. On the JV side, the Pointers went 2 for 4. They got wins from Aiden Navoa and Oliver Brown. And the Raiders, meanwhile, in the JV side, got wins from Marcus West and Dominic Fisher. So now up at 182. It is Gable Dayton for Williamsburg and Preston Thompson for CPU. Dayton coming into this one ranked in the top 8 by Hupke Wrestling as he quickly scores against Thompson. Well, we're going to have South Tama action coming your way. Oh, I'd wager in about a half hour at the conclusion of this CPU Williamsburg duel. I know the Pointers are open at a couple of the lightweights, so the other half of this duel should move along fairly quickly with those open weights. Here's a Cradle getting locked up by Dayton. He's going to make quick work of his match at 182. Gable Dayton wins by fall over Preston Thompson. So far, Williamsburg has either won by forfeit or won by fall, piling up points here against the Stormin' Pointers. We go to 195. As soon as those two check in, I'll get you the names there. But bouncing over to the girls' side. Short action for this girls' duel, as the Stormin' Pointers only brought 2 wrestlers to compete tonight. And so at 125, CPU's Liney Gusick took a win by tech fall over Ryan Holt of Williamsburg. And at 170, Williamsburg's Paige Walter got a win by fall over CPU's Jenna Small. Those were the only 2 girls matches between CPU and Williamsburg. South Tama featuring a 6-member roster this year, and so we'll have a little bit longer action between South Tama and Williamsburg, as I believe they've got close to a full roster from what I can tell. And now up at 195 here on your screen, it is CPU's Liam Juane taking on Williamsburg's Brian Rydell. Williamsburg, of course, in the red and black. CPU in the yellow and black. Rydell scores quickly.
So we do have our raffle going on out there. we have 3 Iowa State wrestling meets, 3 different meets, tickets available, and a sign from our old scoreboard. We will be drawing for those raffle tickets after senior night. So go out and get your raffle tickets.
And you can hear the voice of Matt Probasco announcing to the crowd here. Pretty packed gymnasium at the Roundhouse this evening, as the South Tama Activity Booster Club holding some raffles for some Iowa State wrestling meet tickets and special wall hanging. That was a piece of the South Tama Jumbotron scoreboard that hung above the Roundhouse for close to a couple decades. The Trojan head logo was kind of fashioned into sort of like an 18 by 24 poster type wall hanging with a nice wood frame around it. And so that's getting auctioned off tonight. There will be another very similar wall hanging auctioned off at the Jam the Gym night coming up later this month. That's going to be a basketball game. I believe that date is January 31st, a Tuesday. South Tama hosts Vinton Shellsburg for a boy-girl doubleheader, and that'll be Jam the Gym night for the boosters. Similar to this evening, it'll be raffles, free popcorn, and plenty of South Tama sports action here in the gym. Blood timeout here in this 195 match between Juane and Rydell. Juane on top. Scores a reversal, so they're tied 2-2. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with another Get to Know the Athlete interview live from the STC Roundhouse. Thanks for joining us on Trojan Country. Hello and welcome to another STC Student Athlete Spotlight. Today I'm joined by senior Nathaniel Palmeraz with the wrestling team. Nathaniel, how are you?
I've been good, thank you.
Good. How was wrestling practice for you guys today?
It was another good one, short, sweet, working hard like we always do.
All right. So before we jump into wrestling talk, I want to get to know you a little bit, ask you some broader questions, if that's all right. First, what's been a highlight or a memorable moment from this school year, now your senior year? Kind of a big landmark time for you. What's been a highlight for you so far?
Highlight for me is probably kind of not as good, but just kind of being back with wrestling.
Yep. So has it been? Tell me a little bit about how long you've been wrestling. Have you come back to it recently this year, or what's your kind of history with it?
I started wrestling my 8th grade year, and wrestled all my way to state under Coach Chima. Mm-hmm. And then my freshman year, I tore my ACL, so I didn't get to do it that year. And then I was worried about hurting it again my sophomore year. Yeah. And I just didn't do it my junior year. But this year, that convinced me to come back, and it's been really good so far.
Yeah, right on. What are some hobbies or interests that you have outside of school and outside of wrestling?
Spending time with my family, playing games, and drawing.
All right. Anything you like to draw in particular? Is there a style or a genre or anything that's of interest to you?
Video game or comic book characters.
Nice.
Trying to mimic some of their styles.
Yeah. And Something that a lot of people, a lot of the teammates and such know about you is that you have a nickname. Bubs is your nickname. How did you come across a name like Bubs?
I don't know. My mom was originally going to give it to my sister, but
Yeah.
when she realized she was having a boy, she just gave it to me.
So you've been Bubs for a long time.
Yeah.
Then. Okay.
Some people think it's my real name.
Nice. Talk a little bit about your family. Do you have any siblings? Do you have any pets? And tell us about those if you do.
I'm the second youngest of my family. I have 2 older sisters and a younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And for a pet, we have a little puppy. I don't know what breed it is, but we call her Lulu.
Nice. Are you a dog person, or would there be another pet that you'd like to have if you could, or you'd like to have someday, or is dogs kind of good for you?
I'm a dog person, but a pet I would like to have is like a little guinea pig.
Oh, nice. Do you have any unique talents or skills, anything that somebody might be interested to, or not know about you at first glance?
I like to ride a lot.
Okay, excellent. When you think about heroes, who comes to mind for you when you would classify a hero? Somebody you know, somebody you don't know, maybe.
My coach, Nathan Van Dyke, he's been able to push me through a lot of stuff in and out of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And for out of school, Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, nice. Very good. If you could be, this is kind of a fun hypothetical. If you could be an animal for a day, what kind of animal would you be, and why, maybe?
A pistol shrimp.
A pistol shrimp.
Yes.
What about? Isn't that like a team name? There's got to be like a minor league team called like the Pistol Shrimps or something like that. What about a pistol shrimp is interesting to you?
How fast they can hit underwater.
Okay. Very good. All right. And then switching gears to talk wrestling a little bit, what have you found is the most enjoyable part of the wrestling experience for you?
When you're in a match and you get to that point where you both are wrestling at as high as you can be, you're not tired, but you're not fully energized. You're in that moment where you're going off pure instinct.
Mm-hmm. And then conversely, what do you find is the most challenging part of it?
Not getting down on yourself when you mess up on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're falling behind or whatever and you start to get down on yourself, that's not a good thing to do. That's sometimes hard.
Mm-hmm. How has this season been? You're the heavyweight for this South Tama team this year. I don't know, obviously I don't know how much you're weighing, but you seem like a little bit of an undersized heavyweight compared to the full 285, starting left tackle kind of size people. But how has that been for you this season? Have you felt well matched against your competition at that weight? What's been that experience as the heavyweight at South Tama this year?
It forces me to work a lot harder than most,
Mm-hmm.
just to stay in the match with some of these heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to be quicker and working on my endurance is what mainly gets me through matches.
Yep. What are you working on specifically from a technique standpoint, from a individual game standpoint to improve at this point in the season? What are some of the things that you're working on in practice to get better?
The main thing is defense, getting out of positions and staying in a place where I can't get taken to my back, especially with some of these bigger guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Goals for the rest of the season. Where would you like to be when it's all kind of said and done at the end of your senior wrestling season?
Just a winning record.
Very nice. And do you have a favorite memory from your wrestling career? It doesn't have to be just this year. Is there a favorite memory that comes to mind from wrestling?
Making it to state my 8th grade year.
And then lastly, what's some advice that you might have for younger kids as they're deciding what they're going to do with their extracurricular time, maybe?
Like out of wrestling?
Yeah, but wrestling or sports in general. It doesn't have to be wrestling, but
just to go out of the 100% and never get down on yourself, and always listen to your coaches and give everything you got every single practice.
All right, and then we're going to jump into some favorites questions real quick. How about a favorite video game, movie, or TV show?
Favorite video game would have to be Overwatch.
All right. And favorite meal, favorite thing to eat for lunch?
Lunch, kind of just depends on the day. Mainly just like a sandwich or something small.
Okay, all right. How about favorite music or favorite music artist?
I don't have a specific one. It's just anything that sounds good.
Okay, all right. Favorite time of year? Favorite season?
Halloween.
And favorite type of animal?
Kangaroo.
And favorite athlete?
Athlete? Jordan Burroughs.
Jordan Burroughs, great. And Quick Star or Casey's?
Quick Star.
All right. All right, thank you very much. Best of luck to you on the rest of the season, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
All right. All right, welcome back in live from the Roundhouse. We are just about to the conclusion of this Williamsburg Center Point-Urbana varsity duel. The Raiders going to come away with a almost spotless victory here. I don't believe they were open at any. And yeah, they're leading 72-0. Some quick updates on the boys' side that were happening while we had the interview playing there. At 195, Brian Rydell won over Liam Juane by fall. At 220, Gavin Vesey of Williamsburg won by fall over Sam Leadham of CPU. And at 285, Trenton Davies of Williamsburg won by fall over Christian Cannon of Center Point-Urbana. The Storm and Pointers were open at 106 and 113, and that brings us to where we are right now at 120. This is Gavin Jensen from Williamsburg against Blake Burninghouse of CPU. Jensen leading by 4 and just getting the pin against Burninghouse.
120, Gavin Jensen.
And so CPU will have one more match here. We started at 132, and so we go to 126.
For Williamsburg, Anthony Fenton. For CPU, Jordan Weedo. This will be the final match of the duel between Williamsburg and CPU. We'll jump right into JV action with CPU and South Tama.
So at 126, it's going to be Williamsburg's Anthony Fenton taking on CPU's Jordan Weedo. Weedo, a freshman. Don't have the grade for Fenton. Weedo coming out aggressive here, controlling the head. Trying to just manhandle the collar of Anthony Fenton. Fenton gets to his feet. No points yet. And so apologies, we don't have a live scoreboard tonight. The scoreboards are mounted up on the wall, and so instead of, we're gonna have, since we have 2 mats going, we're gonna have girls varsity and boys varsity happening at the same time. We're gonna be jumping back and forth between the 2 mats with our cameras rather than try and capture the scoreboard. I don't have a very good angle with where we're set up to be able to get the large scoreboard on the north side of the gym. And there's the pin by Fenton, who quickly rallies in the first period. And so an 84-0 blowout. Excuse me.
Straight into JV action. Brand, South Tama, Caden Palmer.
So 84-0, Williamsburg blows out Center Point-Urbana.
South Tama, Bo Lawrence, CPU.
I believe that's where the final. Yep, that's where the final's going to stand. 84-0, the final there. And so next up, it's going to be JV matches between probably the kids that haven't wrestled for CPU and South Tama's JV bunch. Anthony Thompson up first for the Trojans. So I believe as soon as the time limit allows Center Point-Urbana's wrestlers to take the mats, we will have South Tama Varsity and CPU. I don't know exactly when that will be, but shouldn't be too much longer. So over on mat number 2 here on your camera, we've got Anthony Thompson in the white and black. Don't have the, let's see here if we can get to track wrestling and get you the name for both of those. All right, so it's Anthony Thompson at 138 taking on Bo Lawrence of Center Point-Urbana. Thompson leading 2-0 in that one. Got another JV match going on mat number 1. I don't have the names for that one, though. Kind of recapping some of the action from the last couple of weeks for the Trojans. South Tama's been in action twice since the holiday break. They had a double duel at Solon last week. And then this previous weekend, they were in action at Prairie City Monroe for their invite tourney. First in the double duel at Solon, South Tama got a win over the Spartans. In order of the varsity action, at 285, Joe Ebert got a 5-3 decision win over Nathaniel Palmarez. At 106, Cale Graff pinned Hunter Campion from Solon. At 113, Evan Berg pinned Giovanni Perez of South Tama. At 120, Eli Brannon got a win by fall over Solon's Kyler Jessup. At 126, Mari Chavez pinned his opponent, Lawson Sinwell of Solon. At 132, South Tama's Mikhail Baer won in a 8-4 decision against Jordan Schmidt of Solon. Then at 138, Solon got their first victory of the night. Charlie Karam defeated South Tama's Drayton White by a 13-3 major decision. Then at 145, Teague Williams of Solon defeated Jacob Youngbear 9-4. South Tama got a win from Cyrus Mathis at 152. He defeated David Karam 8-2. Then at 160, Jackson Feuerbach of Solon defeated Pedro Munoz by major decision 11-3. At 170, Kyler Jensen of Solon defeated Madden Martinez by fall. And South Tama won the next 3. At 182, Marcus Baer defeated Oliver Owens by a 4-2 decision. At 195, Gavin Bridgewater got a tech fall win over Braden Hoffman. And at 220, Rudy Papaki defeated Grant Williamson by fall. So that was the Solon duel. The Marion Wolves were also in attendance over in Solon last week. South Tama lost 42-36.
Now wrestling on the north mat, South Tama's Austin Taylor, CPU Christian Cannon.
And so up on the camera now is Raul Alas on the JV side. This is going to be the last JV match. And Alas in trouble on a shoulder there. Over on mat 1, we've got Austin Taylor. Taking on Trenton Davies. Excuse me.
Starting varsity action at weight class 138.
Christian Cannon, no, Davies was from Williamsburg. So Cannon from CPU taking on Austin Taylor of South Tama. Taylor gives up the takedown early, gets to his feet, scores the escape. Alas, meanwhile, over on mat number 2, trailing 5-3, gets a reversal, and short time left in the first period. He's back on top. And Taylor being aggressive on top, trying to get that right shoulder turned over from Cannon, but Cannon a bit of a bigger body just from the eyeball test. And Taylor's got a lot to work with there underneath. A moment ago, Aiden Navoa from Center Point-Urbana defeated Raul Alas by pin. And that leaves us with mat number 1. We're going to have varsity action coming up right after this.
Now wrestling on the north mat.
Oh, no.
Girls varsity action, 190 pounds for South Tama. Jamie Dolash for CPU, Jenna Small.
All right, so it's going to be girls varsity action coming up on mat number 1, or mat number 2, excuse me. So we're going to hop over there. Starting at 235. For the Trojans, it's going to be Jamie Dolash. Dolash taking on Jenna Small. This is going to be at 190 is what this is classified at. And so Dolash in the white and black, Small in the gray and yellow. Dolash, along with all the girls wrestlers, have had a jam-packed season in this first inaugural season for girls high school wrestling by the Girls Union. Most recently at the Ogden tournament, Dolash finished in the consolation round there. Started with a bye to begin that day, and then took a loss to Cadence Hegan.
38 pounds on the north mat.
All right, so so apologies there. We're gonna jump over to varsity action on both mats. So I'm gonna kind of pause my.
Please report 138.
commentary here from the last few matches as Dolash scores. She's up 2-0 with 10 seconds left to go in the first period.
Drake Possible. And for your Trojans at 138 pounds, Drayton White.
A little pause in the action here as the captain's coming on for the little rules meeting before the start of this Center Point-Urbana South Tama Varsity boys duel. Dolash to start underneath against Small in the second round. She leads 2-0. That's Jamie Dolash, the freshman, at 190, wrestling against Jenna Small of Center Point-Urbana. And at 138, it'll be Drayton White for the Trojans, a junior, taking on Drake Pospisil of Center Point-Urbana. Dolash now leading 3-0 over on the girls' varsity side.
At the conclusion of the varsity girls match, we will go varsity on both mats.
And here's the start of boys action over on mat number 1. This is White for South Tama, Pospisil from Center Point-Urbana. He shoots first, and White easily defends. Dolash trying to defend some offense there by Jenna Small. She still leads 3-0 in the second period, 30 seconds to go. There's a nice shot there by Drayton White, and he scores 2-0. White leading over Pospisil. The throw there by White, and Small able to get the turn on Dolash. And pins Dolash late in the second period. So Dolash goes down by fall. And we've got 50 seconds left in period number 1. Drayton White on the mat here for South Tama. He still leads 2-0. First bout of this South Tama CPU duel. We got Williamsburg and South Tama coming up after this. We got senior night activities also to come. And it looks like that will be it for varsity girls wrestling. Center Point-Urbana doesn't look like they have any other girls for the Trojans. They only brought 2 to wrestle against Williamsburg, so a short night there. However,
is a forfeit. 152, please report.
So Jacob Youngbear gets the win by forfeit at 145 against Center Point-Urbana. We're at 2-2. Drayton White.
152 for CPU, Tyler Foreman. And for your Trojans at 152 pounds, Cyrus Mathis.
All right, so up on mat number 2, Cyrus Mathis taking on Tyler Foreman of Center Point-Urbana. Still tied as we go to the second period. Here on mat number 1, Drayton White and Drake Pospisil. Quick shot and a takedown by Mathis as he's quickly up 2-0. Mathis working the left shoulder of Foreman. One of South Tama's more aggressive wrestlers, the junior there, 152. Start of the second period over at 138 here between White and Pospisil. They go out of bounds. Still 3-2. Drayton White leading by 1. The score is still 2-0. Cyrus Mathis leading over Tyler Foreman of Center Point-Urbana. And they go out of bounds. The escape by White, and he leads 4-2 now. Trying to get South Tama's first, well, the forfeit was the first points of the night, but the first win of the night could come here at either of these matches. Mathis still trying to put Foreman onto a shoulder, but Foreman's been pretty flat and tough to turn so far. Mathis tries to gather a leg, but now the shoulder comes for Mathis. Foreman trying to extend, gets back to his stomach. Mathis a little high on the shoulder, in danger of kind of sliding off the front end and giving up a reversal. Could get the pin there, and the win by fall from Cyrus Mathis comes in the first period with 6 seconds left.
£160 for CPU, Brody Burninghouse. And a 160 for your South Tama Trojans, Kinzer Jeanette.
A 160, South Tama's Kinzer Jeanette.
With the fall, 138 for your Trojans, Drayden White.
And White gets the win by fall over Drake Pospisil. South Tama looking strong here in the first few matches. And Jeanette wrestling Brody Burninghouse at 160.
The Trojans are open at 170. CPU will take the forfeit.
At 170, South Tama is open and will give up a forfeit. William Gerhold gets the win there.
For CPU, Preston Thompson. And for your Trojans, Madden Martinez.
At 182, it'll be Madden Martinez wrestling for South Tama. And he'll be taking on Preston Thompson for CPU. This is Kinzer Jeanette and Brody Burninghouse. Jeanette has scored early in the first, still maintaining his position on top. And Madden Martinez and Preston Thompson in action here on mat number 1. Burninghouse to his feet, they go out of bounds. And the pin by Madden Martinez over Preston Thompson.
For your Trojans, Madden Martinez. 195, please report. Bridgewater. For CPU, Liam Braun.
And so at 195, it'll be South Tama's Gavin Bridgewater taking on Liam Juane. of Center Point-Urbana. Lightning fast takedown for Bridgewater. He's up 2-0. Jeanette still maintaining his 2-0 lead. A minute to go left in the second period. A quick shot there by Jeanette on the right ankle of Burninghouse from Center Point-Urbana. This is a look at Gavin Bridgewater and Liam Juan. Bridgewater in control here early in the first, trying to get Juan flattened out. Three back points awarded, and Bridgewater now leads 5-0. Still 2-0 for Jeanette over at 160. Bridgewater just heavy as can be with his hips. Scores another 3 back points, maybe going for a tech fall here. Some near fall points scored by Burninghouse, and Jeanette now trailing 5-2 as we go into the third period. Jeanette will start on bottom. Third period here at 160. Kinzer Jeanette for South Tama. Brody Burninghouse of Center Point-Urbana. Juan makes it to the second period with Bridgewater, but Bridgewater well in control, 11-0. Two back points coming here for Burninghouse against Jeanette. As Burninghouse got him onto one shoulder there for a moment. Minute 15 to go left in the third. Jeanette trying to defend off of a shoulder, but a difficult position as we got a blood timeout here at 195. The last couple of meets, South Tama's Gavin Bridgewater has dropped down to 195. There's Jeanette on a reversal. Gets Burninghouse onto a shoulder. Jeanette's got the back points coming. Gonna have to get the pin here though, as he trails by 4. And the pin and the upset by Kinzer Jeanette coming from behind. Keeping South Tama in the black here.
220, please report, 220.
You can hear. I'm right above the locker room. I could hear Jeanette clapping all the way into the locker room there. So he's fired up. Still blood timeout at 195. At 220, South Tama's Rudy Papaki taking on Sam Leadham. Quick shot and a throw by Papaki. Leadham on his back. And the pin. Leadham might have got injured there.
Rudy Papaki. 285, please report.
And Leadham back onto his feet. Appears to be all right. So opening second victory for Rudy Papaki in his first action tonight on senior night. And here comes another senior for the Trojans. It's Nathaniel Palmarez.
285, Nathaniel Palmarez.
And he'll be taking on Colton McDowell, a freshman for the Pointers. 14-0 lead for Bridgewater at 195 on mat number 1. Bridgewater on top. Has one more point to score, and he's going to big throw there by Bridgewater. Puts Juan onto his stomach again. Palmeraz and McDowell. Opening moments of the first period. Palmeraz trying to get into a throw. McDowell is a big boy. Oh, that's a pancake right there. Big effort there by Palmeraz, and he scores first, 2-0. Sometimes in these heavyweights, 2 is all you need. Another blood timeout at 195. Bridgewater still, nope, just maybe not a bounce call, so no blood time there. Palmeraz in control at 285 here. Getting McDowell onto a shoulder and a quick pin there. And Palmeraz comes away with a pin. We go to 106, Cale Graff for South Tama.
South Tama will receive a forfeit at 106. 113.
And so Graff takes the win by forfeit.
Will receive a forfeit at 113.
And Giovanni Perez will win by forfeit as well. And there is the final points in the Tech Fall victory for Gavin Bridgewater.
Bridgewater with the win at 195. 126. Please report 126.
And so 120 we come to now.
120 for CPU, Blake Burninghouse. And for your Trojans at 120, Eli Brannon. Senior parents, please report to the south side of the gym at this time. Senior parents, south side of the gym.
All right, so up on mat number 2 here, this is going to be Eli Brannon at 120, taking on Blake Burninghouse
For your Trojans at
of CPU.
Amare Chavez. Once again, South Tama senior parents, please report to the south side of the gym.
At 126, it's South Tama's Amari Chavez taking on Jordan Guido, CPU. Early takedown by Brandon. He's on top in the black and white singlet there, leading 2-0, opening moments of the first period. We've got Williamsburg, South Tama action coming up after this. Senior night before that happens. Chavez making quick work over there on mat number 1. And Chavez with a pin. South Tama blowing through this CPU roster.
132.
And our final duel of this meet. Let's back that up. Final bout of this duel. There we go. At 132, South Tama's Mikhail Bear.
And for your Trojans, Mikhail Bear.
Mikhail Bear taking on Will Griswold of CPU. Here's Brannon against Burninghouse. Brannon leading 2-0, 37 seconds left in the first period. Mikhail Bear with a quick takedown against Guido. He's up 2-0 at 132. The throw goes haywire there for Burninghouse against Brandon, and Brandon comes away with a takedown. He leads 4-1. 4-1 lead for Eli Brandon at 120 with 1:44 to go in the second period. Mikhail Bear also up against Jordan Weedo at 126. .33 seconds left in the first period. I think that was an out-of-bounds call for Bear. He gets a caution there. Bear leading 11-0 here at this 132 bout. South Tama in the team scoring, leading 66-6. The only points coming from forfeit. 11-0 lead by Bear here in the waning moments of the first period. He's working on top. Eli Brandon still maintaining position over on mat number 2, leading 4-1. 48 seconds left to go in the second period. And we'll go to period number 2 with Mikhail Bear leading 14-0, looking for a tech fall against Jordan Weedo. Brandon on the far side of his mat over there, trying to get Burninghouse turned around. Gets a shoulder. Still 4-1 on mat number 1. Bear comes away with the pin after a scramble. Another win by fall for South Tama against Center Point-Urbana. South Tama up big against the Pointers. And so that leaves us with this 120-pound bout. Eli Brandon still leading, but now 6-1 against Blake Burninghouse. Minute 18 to go, left in the third period. Brandon, quick shot and a takedown, now leading 8-2. An escape as he lets Burninghouse back up. 8-3 the score. 55 seconds to go, final period here at 120. Eli Brandon in control. Center Point-Urbana trying to get their first win of the night as they went winless against Williamsburg and have not gotten any victories against South Tama either. Another takedown by Brandon. He's up 10-3. 35 seconds to go. Brandon looking tough up there at 120. Going to have one of the biggest matchups of the night at 120. It'll be the state qualifier, Gavin Jensen from Williamsburg taking on Brandon at 120. Should they meet up as expected?
Thank you for coming tonight and have a safe trip home. We're going to take just a little break here and we'll go through senior night as soon as coach and wrestlers are ready.
All right, so to recap, here at the Roundhouse between South Tama and CPU. Trojans got a win by forfeit at 106 and 113. We just had Eli Brandon winning by fall over Blake Burninghouse at 120. At 126, Amari Chavez pinned Jordan Weedo. At 132, Mikhail Bear pinned Will Griswold. At 138, Drayton White pinned Drake Pospisil. At 145, Jacob Youngbear got a win by forfeit. At 152, Cyrus Mathis pinned Tyler Foreman. At 160, Kendra Jeanette. Probably the most exciting match of the night so far. Got a come from behind win against Brody Burninghouse and won by fall. At 170, South Tama got a win. Or no, excuse me, 170. The Trojans were open, and William Gerhold took the forfeit victory in that one. At 182, Madden Martinez pinned Preston Thompson. At 195, Gavin Bridgewater got a tech fall victory over Liam Juane. At 220, Rudy Papaki pinned Sam Leadham. And finally at 285, Nathaniel Palmarez pinned Colton McDowell.
And when the JV's done, we'll go varsity action on the north mat and varsity girls on the south mat.
So I believe we're getting ready for senior night here at the Roundhouse. I don't know exactly where these seniors and their parents are going to emerge from, so that has yet to be seen. Congrats to South Tama getting a third-place finish over at the PCM Invitational last Saturday. Some quick results for you from that event. Cale Graff finished 5th and scored 11 team points. Graff got a bye in his opening round, lost by a 10-5 decision against Caliber Fry at PCM. Then another bye and got a win against Dennis May of Gilbert by fall. And in the 5th place match, won over Lane Christie of Panorama, also by fall. At 120, Eli Brandon won his bracket, placed first, and won in the championship round by fall over Zach Richards of Prairie City Monroe. At 126, Amari Chavez also placed first, won his championship round by a 5-3 decision over Peyton Harger of Earlham. At 132, Mikhail Baer placed first, won by decision. 10-3 the final score. Baer over Caleb Cook of Pleasantville. At 132, Chase Gustafson also placed 6th in that 132 bracket, wrestling unattached at the Invitational. Gustafson took an opening round loss to Caleb Cook of Pleasantville. Then got a fall, wins by fall over Sarner Arefa of Southeast Polk JV and Colton Halterman of Southeast Warren Melcher Dallas by fall. And then in the 5th place match, Gustafson lost to Sawyer Beaucamp of PCM. That one came by fall. At 138, Drayton White placed 7th. And in his 7th place match at the end of the night, White won by fall over Brody Crow of Southeast Warren Melcher Dallas. At 145, Jacob Youngbear placed 4th. Youngbear got a win by fall to start the day against Isaac Williams of Nevada. And then another win by fall over Caden Crow of Southeast Warren Melcher Dallas. Took a loss against Hewitt Breingar of PCM. That one came by fall. And then in the 3rd place match, fell to Mason Allen of Central Decatur, also by a pin victory there. At 152, Cyrus Mathis placed 5th in his bracket, taking wins over Holden Boschert of Gilbert and Aaron Halverson of Iowa Falls Alden. In the 5th place match, Mathis won by tech fall over Jeffrey McDaniel of PCM. At 170, it was Madden Martinez. He placed 6th for the Trojans. Got wins over Cody Jackson of Des Moines North Hoover and over Tayshawn Gillen of Gilbert. That one, both of those came by fall. Martinez in his sixth
Tonight's
place
a very special night here at South Tama.
match,
Our senior
lost
wrestlers,
by fall to
cheerleaders,
Griffin
and
Olson of
families.
PCM.
Tonight we want to honor 4 wrestlers and 1 wrestling cheerleader and thank them for their contributions to each of their respective programs. Our first senior tonight is Allison Killian. Her parents, Amber and Randy Robson. She's been involved in wrestling cheer for 2 years. Her other activities here at South Tama are STC dance technician, track, and golf. Her plans after graduation.
And so walking across the mats here is Allison Killian, one of the cheerleaders for the STC wrestling cheerleaders.
Our next senior, Raul Alas. Parents.
Next up is Raul Alas.
This is his first year in the sport of wrestling. His first memory is his first pin, and he's undecided for his future plans. Senior, Raul Alas. Our next senior is Hayden Brannon.
Next up, Hayden Brannon.
Tanya Brannon. He's been involved in wrestling for 2 years. Other activities here at South Tama are football. His favorite memory is accidentally wearing his singlet backwards his freshman year. His future plans, I think he did it his senior year too. His future plans are to enter the workforce. Senior, Hayden Brannon. Our next senior, Nathaniel Palmarez. Parents, Noel Youngbear. This is his first year in the sport of wrestling. Other activities included football and track.
Next up,
His
Nathaniel
favorite
Palmarez.
memory is when Dyke's voice keeps cracking in practice. His future plans are to go into the workforce. Senior, Nathaniel Palmarez. Our next senior, Rudy Papaki. Parents are Rudy and Luciana. He's been involved in wrestling for 4 years.
And
Other
lastly,
activities
up for the
include
Trojans
football
on
and
senior
soccer.
night is Rudy
His
Papaki.
favorite memory is making it to state, but he's got bigger plans for state this year. His future plans are go to college and have an athletic career going into football. Senior, Rudy Papaki.
And so your seniors, Allison Killian, Raul Alas,
Thank you,
Hayden
seniors
Brannon,
and your families,
Nathaniel
for your hard work
Palmarez, and Rudy
dedication to
Papaki
South
being
Tama.
honored here
Best
on
of luck to you in
the mats.
future. We're going to do our drawing real quick. Captains, you guys can meet for the Williamsburg South Tama duel. We're going to go ahead and do our drawings for the Iowa State wrestling tickets and the
All right,
signs
so
from
the
our full
booster
scoreboard.
drawings coming up next here at the Roundhouse as we get
First
ready
one is
for
Iowa State
Williamsburg and
versus
South Tama
Oklahoma.
action. I believe we're going to have JV matches first on
Brennan
both mats.
Chima. The Brennan Chima. Iowa State versus Oklahoma State. Curtis Rowie. The Beauty and the Beast, Iowa State versus Illinois. And women's gymnastics. Eric Slagle.
Located in the heart of corn and cattle country, Iowa Premium procures and processes only corn-fed Black Angus cattle that come hand-selected from family farms in Iowa and neighboring states. As Tama County's largest employer, the team at Iowa Premium are an anchor, not only in the beef industry, but throughout eastern and central Iowa. Iowa Premium, a national beef company. Medicap Pharmacy in Toledo offers free medication packaging and free delivery to surrounding areas. With convenient drive-up service and hours on Saturday morning, Medicap Pharmacy is always there for you. Visit with pharmacist Derek Townsend and his team by calling 484-6198 or stop by their location across from Fairway in Toledo. Medicap Pharmacy, locally owned and expertly operated. Sharn Weber's in Toledo serves central and northeast Iowa with the latest in heating and cooling systems, water softeners, plumbing and electrical installation, as well as expert service and repair. As a family-owned hallmark business from the South Tama community, Sharn Weber's is proud to support Trojan spirit on the field, on the stage, on the court, or in the classroom. When the job needs done, call Sharn Weber's at 800-542-7980. S&S Car Wash provides both automatic and hand wash services as well as detailing for your vehicle. S&S Car Wash, your local car wash destination with convenient locations in Toledo and Tama. "2022 marks the 95th year in business for the State Bank of Toledo since opening in 1927. The State Bank of Toledo is Trojan Country's hometown bank, supporting its customers with loyal, friendly, and fair customer service. With 2 convenient locations, a full-service investment center, 24-hour ATM service, and online banking, you can't go wrong making State Bank of Toledo your financial services choice. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. As partners in the community, Salt Creek Wind Project is committed to supporting Tama County's growth in a way that benefits all residents. Construction on the project will bring hundreds of new opportunities for Tama County's workforce and will allow workers to gain valuable transferable skills. Hundreds of millions of dollars in tax revenue generated by the project will help improve county services such as schools, roads, and emergency response. And the clean, emission-free power generated will support a more reliable delivery system in the county and beyond. To learn more about Salt Creek Wind or to join our coalition of supporters, visit saltcreekwindproject.com. Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home in Tama is locally owned and operated, serving Tama, Toledo, and the surrounding areas. Cruzy Phillips offers both traditional and cremation services at the time of need, as well as pre-planned arrangements that give you and your family peace of mind. Through competent professionalism, the staff at Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home serves families with compassion and respect for their needs and wishes. That's why they offer services with unique options and attention to every detail. Obituaries and funeral home information can be found online at cruzy-phillips.com or by calling 641-484-3400. MarkWest Law Office in Toledo is a proud Trojan Country sponsor and supporter of STC activities. Attorney Mike MarkWest and the staff at MarkWest Law Office are here to help during life's most challenging moments. The attorneys at MarkWest Law specialize in a variety of areas, including family law, criminal defense, real estate, and civil litigation. With a growing staff of legal professionals, there's a good chance MarkWest Law can handle your case. MarkWest Law. We care, we listen, we can help. Call 641-484-1001 or visit tamalaw.com for more. If you believe in capturing meaningful moments, you've made it to the right place. The Farmer's Daughter Photography and TFD Films are a proud supporter of Trojan Country and South Tama County activities. Located near Conrad, the Farmer's Daughter Photography and TFD Films offer an array of photo and video services, including family photos, newborns, kids and seniors, weddings, and commercial media. Check them out on the web at tfdphoto.com or on Facebook and Instagram to learn more. Trojan Country fans, come on down to The Pump, Tama, Toledo's #1 bar and grill. Located in downtown Tama at 218 West 3rd Street, The Pump serves up cold drinks, a warm atmosphere, and an amazing lunch on the regular. Check out the Tama Pump on Facebook for regular lunch and drink specials, as well as details on their latest events. All right, welcome back in live from the Roundhouse. Darvin Graham here with you as we are just underway in the JV matches of this Williamsburg South Tama duel, our final duel of tonight during Pin the Gym night from the boosters. So we've got 2 mats running here this evening. As you can see, we've got JV matches up on both mats. On the blue and black mat here on the left side, it's Clayton Babinet at 126. Taking on Clayton Yelland of Williamsburg. Babinet leading by 2 in that one. And on the other side, on the far side there, at 132, it's South Tama's Chase Gustafson taking on Marcus West of Williamsburg. Don't have a score update on that one. It's the scoreboard. There we go. Whenever we bring the scoreboard back. South Tama leading 2-0. So Gustafson leading 2-0 over West at 132, midway into the second period. We had a couple quick finishes to start this JV round. Bowen Stratton of Williamsburg pinned Giovanni Perez. And Tyler McMullen of Williamsburg pinned Carver Cheechak. These are all JV matches. We're going to have girls and boys varsity coming up at the conclusion of this junior varsity round. Trojans will be in action next this Saturday up at the annual Bob Sharp. No, not the Bob Sharp. Oh, I get these memorial tournaments mixed up. They're going to Ankeny for the annual memorial tournament up there at Ankeny High School. And so if you can't make it out to cheer on the Trojans in Ankeny, I believe the best way to track the progress and action over there would be to log on to trackwrestling.com and follow along on their dashboard there. Gustafson up 5-0 now against Marcus West. Gustafson working on top. Came away with a podium finish last weekend against crowded field at Prairie City Monroe. Came in unattached. Not part of the team equation for South Tama, but has been pretty strong in the JV ranks this year. Blood timeout here at 126 for Babinet. And so while we have more JV matches coming your way here, we're going to jump over to another of our get to know the player interviews. We'll be back, and be sure to cut in as soon as varsity action starts. Should be a little bit of time yet before we have varsity, as both South Tama and Williamsburg appear to have a pretty full roster, both JV, girls, and boys varsity. So more wrestling to come. We'll be back after this. Hello and welcome to another STC Student Athlete Spotlight. Today I'm joined by junior wrestler Chase Gustafson. Chase, how are you today?
Good, you?
Good, good. Before we kind of get into some wrestling talk, I want to ask some just broader questions to get to know you a little bit. What has been a highlight or maybe a memorable moment for you just from this past school year so far, kind of at the halfway mark?
Definitely like the Benton meet is most exciting meet we've probably had this year. It's just everyone up on their feet the entire time is just it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any siblings or pets? And if so, tell us about them.
Yeah, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and I think like 6 dogs.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of, tell us about the dogs. What?
They're golden doodles. My mom, she
Okay.
breeds them.
Okay.
Yep.
So have you kind of had them your whole life sort of thing?
Yeah,
or?
pretty much.
All right. Would you, so say you know, when you're an adult, you move away, get your own place. Are you getting a golden doodle, or was there another type of dog you would
Probably
want?
not. It's
Okay.
just they're good dogs, but it's not my personal preference.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll lead that into the next question. If you could be an animal for a day, any type of animal, what would you be and why?
Definitely a lion because they're like the king. And
Okay.
I just want to be like the king for a day. That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Right on. What are some hobbies or interests that you have outside of school and outside of wrestling?
I like hunting and fishing a lot. Just being outside and just a peace and quiet, it's always really soothing.
Yep. So, have you done deer hunting this fall then?
Yes, sir.
Have you gotten one?
I shot a buck and a doe, and then another smaller doe.
That's excellent. Nice job. Do you have any unique talents or skills?
I can do a backflip.
You can do a backflip. All right. I can't, so that's great. If you could have any job in the world, what would it be and why?
Definitely a farmer and rancher, just because it's what my grandparents grew up doing, and it's just kind of in the bloodstream.
Nice, nice. Who are some of your heroes or a hero?
My brother, my older brother, Cody. He's just, every time I want to go do something, I'm always like, let's go do it with Cody. Like, he's always just there for me, and he's just one of my, I love him a lot. He's one of my brothers.
Nice. You, hypothetically speaking, you win $1 million. What's the first thing you do after winning $1 million?
Buy a really fast car.
What kind of car?
Probably like a McLaren or something.
Okay. What is something a person might be surprised to learn about you?
I've been to all 50 states.
You have. Is there a favorite then?
Alaska.
Okay. Nice. How long have you been wrestling? And how'd you first get into it?
I joined in 7th grade, like competitively. I kind of do it when I was little, but it just wasn't really nothing I was into. And then I went out at my old school in Marshtown, and then when I came here, I was like, I don't know if I wanted to do it. And then I talked to Steve, and I just got hooked on it.
Yeah.
I love the environment here. Just it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. What's kind of the most enjoyable part of the competition experience when you're out there on the mat competing? What do you enjoy about it the most?
Just having the crowd there and everyone's cheering you on, and your teammates right there on the mat with you. They're just right there. They might as well just be in the match with you. Everybody's right there.
Sure, sure. And what do you find is the most challenging part of it?
Technique and just putting in the work. You got to be here to be able to put in that work. So you have to just keep on it and just keep going all the time.
And what is something that you're working on at this point of the season to kind of improve your game as a wrestler? Is there a technique or something, a component of the game that you're really focusing on right now?
Getting out on bottom, that's just one thing I've always struggled with. And I just kind of been, if I have the chance to go down, I'm going to go down and just keep getting, if I get my butt kicked, I'm just going to keep working on it and trying to get better at it.
And tell us a little bit about goals for the season. Where do you hope to be, or what are you working on looking towards the end of this season?
Hopefully qualify for sectionals, and then if I qualify, then I'm just one step closer to state tournament.
Sure, sure. We're going to wrap up with some favorites questions for you here. What's your favorite food?
Probably steak and potatoes.
All right. What is your favorite book, movie, TV show, or video game?
Breaking Bad.
All right. Now, did you get into the Better Call Saul or just the Breaking Bad original series?
I got into just Breaking Bad original, and now I'm watching Better Call Saul.
All right. Which one's better?
Definitely go Breaking Bad.
Okay. All right. Favorite type of music or favorite music artist?
Country, probably Zach Bryan.
All right. And favorite season, favorite weather?
Summer, definitely.
Favorite type of animal?
Lion.
Favorite sport?
Baseball.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
the time.
Appreciate
That was
it.
Chase Gustafson. All right, welcome back in live for the Roundhouse. We are ready to start varsity action here between South Tama and Williamsburg. A quick thank you to our sponsors, including Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home, Salt Creek Wind, State Bank of Toledo, Sharn Weber's, Mark West and Hoyer Law Office, S&S Car Wash, Medicap Pharmacy, Iowa Premium, Mercy Care Tama, and the Tama Pump. All of our broadcasts on Trojan Country also made possible by the Charlie Townsley Memorial. And so we're getting ready for varsity action here. It's going to be the girls on mat number 1. First up for the Trojans, it'll be Maylee Ellsbury. Ellsbury taking on Shannon Finn of Williamsburg.
145. Now wrestling at 135 for Williamsburg, Shannon Finn. For your Trojans, Maylee Ellsbury. Now wrestling at 145 for Williamsburg, Brett Santiago. And for your Trojans, Jacob Youngbear.
Jacob Youngbear up at 145 to start on the boys' side. Youngbear get his opponent here in a moment. Maylee Ellsbury up 2-0 halfway through the first period against Shannon Finn of Williamsburg. Youngbear up by 2 against his opponent at 145. And so Jacob Youngbear, South Tama, wrestling Brett Santiago of Williamsburg. The escape by Santiago makes it 2-1, and they roll out of bounds. Ellsbury still in control, 4-1, working on top over on the girls' side. Ellsbury with some back points there, stretches it out to 7-1. As they're nearing the edge of the match. Into the first period at 145 on the boys' side. Jacob Youngbear leading 2-1 against Brett Santiago of Williamsburg. It's the girls' varsity, first girls' varsity match over on mat number 2. Ellsbury quickly gets a reversal there and makes it 9-1. First action of the day for Maylee Ellsbury, South Tama. Then there's going to be a near fall or possibly a pin if Ellsbury can finish this one off. And Finn gets back up to her knees and defends off the pin there by Ellsbury. 11-1 though the score midway through the second period at 1:45 on the boys' side. Jacob Youngbear leading 3-1 after a big throw to Santiago. Youngbear stretching him out. Ellsbury gets the pin over at 132 on the girls' side.
Haley Ellsbury.
Seven to 1. Jacob Youngbear in control here at 1:45. Late seconds in the second period. 30 seconds to go in the second period. Jacob Youngbear, South Tama leading 7-1 against Brett Santiago of Williamsburg. Back on the girls' side, it's Abigail Chima taking on Phoenix Grip. First action of the night for these two wrestlers. Scoreless on the girls' side. Grip going for a single leg and makes her way around methodically to the backside of Abigail Chima, scoring 2, leading 2-0. Phoenix Grip of Williamsburg working on top now. Youngbear from the top position. Scramble, gets Santiago onto his shoulder, but he manages to roll through and get to his front side. Still 7-1 the score at 1:45. First bout of this South Tama Williamsburg duel tonight.
155 for Williamsburg.
Both of these teams blowing out Center Point-Urbana to start the action. As Abigail Chima goes down by fall to Phoenix Grip of Williamsburg.
Walter, Spear Trojan, Autumn Ellsbury.
Next up on the girls' side, it's Autumn Ellsbury taking on Paige Walter of Williamsburg. Ellsbury giving up at least 3 inches there of height and length to Walter. We'll see how she does here. Youngbear still on top over on the boys' side. 7-1 is still his score. A minute to go in the third period. Jacob Youngbear trying to get the first win of the night. There's a takedown by Autumn Ellsbury at the edge of the mat. They go out of bounds. They go back to the center. Quick look back over at the boys' side. 48 seconds to go left in the third period. Jacob Youngbear could come away with the decision, but the points are valuable here, so he's able to get a couple more. That could help the team scoring. Not much action there from Santiago underneath as we near 25 seconds on the clock. Ellsbury over on the girls' side, in control, on top with a minute to go left in the first. Trying to work a chicken wing around the left side. Walter gets to her feet. And a throwdown by Autumn Ellsbury keeps Walter flat on her stomach. 3 seconds to go. Jacob Youngbear going to come away with the win by decision against Brett Santiago of Williamsburg. Nice win there by the South Tama junior.
With a decision, 145 for your Trojans, Jacob Youngbear.
So the Trojans strike first.
Wrestling 152 for Williamsburg, William Bandy. And for your Trojans, Cyrus Mathis.
Next up at 152, it'll be South Tama's Cyrus Mathis taking on William Van D of Williamsburg. Quick shot by Mathis. But an ankle grab by Van D keeps things scoreless. A roll through. Mathis gonna have to be careful, still no points. As they've been pretzeled up pretty good here. There's the throw by Mathis, he scores 2. Another roll there by Van D. But Mathis corrals him in, gets him flat on the stomach, and a 2-0 lead for Cyrus Mathis early moments of the first period. We go to period number 2 over on the girls' side. Autumn Ellsbury taking on Paige Walter. Ellsbury leading 2-1 in a tight bout that's gone a couple of different ways. Walter working with the bigger levers as a much taller, larger bodied wrestler. Mathis the throw, trying to control Vendee underneath. A takedown by Ellsbury though. Pushes her lead to 4 points, 5-1. Autumn Ellsbury leading at 132. The escape on the boys' side now. Vendee comes away with an escape. And Cyrus Mathis now leading 2-1 as those two wrestlers are neutral. Mathis goes in for a headlock, lets him go. Ankle shot there, but Mathis came away with nothing. Thankfully, Vendee unable to score off of the missed shot. Another scramble after a shot from Vendee, and 2 points on a takedown there by William Vendee. He now leads 3-2 against Mathis. Ellsbury getting Walter in trouble there over on the girls' side. 54 seconds to go in the second period. And Autumn Ellsbury scoring 3 back points against Paige Walter of Williamsburg. She leads 8-1 in this 132-pound bout. South Tama got a win in the opening round, or in the opening bout, from Maylee Ellsbury, who got a win by fall, but took a loss by fall. In the next one, Abigail Chima losing to Phoenix Grip of Williamsburg. William Vendee leading Cyrus Mathis 4-2 at 152. This match has been all over the mat, as several of these shots have ended up kind of making this mat look like a bounce house a little bit. These two have kind of just ping-ponged around all over the place. 6-2 has another quick takedown there by Vendee, pushes his lead to 4, and he's got 1:10 to work here in the second period. Cyrus Mathis trailing by 4 at 152. We started at 145, so a lot of wrestling yet to go. The Trojans leading in the team scoring 3-0. Some back points coming there, probably for Williamsburg. No back points, no. So it stays at 6-2 as they went out of bounds before any shoulder action got involved. .49 seconds to go left in the second period. And it's Cyrus Mathis trailing 6-2 against William Vendee of Williamsburg. Autumn Ellsbury now leading 10-1 against Paige Walter over on mat number 2. Minute to go in the third period. And Vendee starting to come on here a little bit in the second period. But regardless of if it's a loss, still value to be had if South Tama can hold off tech falls and pins, as the Trojans looking for a team victory as well as individual wins. But here's some shoulder action there, and Mathis is saved by the clock as the second period comes to a close. We'll jump over 33 seconds left to go in this girls' bout between Paige Walter of Williamsburg and Autumn Ellsbury of South Tama. Ellsbury still leading 10-2, well in control there. 20 seconds left. And Mathis, meanwhile, on the boys' side, still trailing 6-2, with an opportunity after William Vendee really put on the gas a little bit late in the second period, and might have had a near fall there, and could have had a pin if it would have gone maybe another 5 seconds. And there's a major decision win by Autumn Ellsbury, 10-2 over Paige Walter.
Alexa Deuce for your Trojans, Jamie Dolash.
And some blood time going here for Cyrus Mathis as he's being attended to over on the sideline. Next up for the Trojans, it'll be Jamie Dolash taking on Alexis Aguas from Williamsburg. Dolash was the lone wrestler to compete against Center Point-Urbana and took a loss in that one. Lost by fall to Jenna Small. And so here she is now against Alexis Aguas, Williamsburg. Opening moments of the first period, still scoreless. Coming out of the blood timeout at 1:52, it's Cyrus Mathis of South Tama, William Vendee of Williamsburg. Still a 4-point lead for Vendee. Feels like it could be a lot more. But Mathis with an opportunity. Let's see what he can do with it here. 52 seconds to go, third period. There's a shot by Mathis. Defended by Vendee, and he comes away with a takedown off the defense. A 8-3 score now. Vendee in control with 30 seconds to go. Mathis is going to have to go for broke here. On the girls' side, Aguas for Williamsburg leading 2-0 against Jamie Dolash, the freshman from South Tama. Little roll through there, tried by Mathis. No points awarded. This one's been a pretty loose match as these wrestlers have been all over the place, but it's going to end in 2 more points for William Vendee, and he's going to go on to win here 10-3.
With the decision, 152 pounds for Williamsburg, William Vendee.
And so Mathis loses 10-3 to William Vendee. As we get ready to start the second period for this girls' match between Jamie Dolash and Alexis Aguas. Aguas still leading 2-0. At 160 for South Tama, it's going to be Kinzer Jeanette. And he'll be taking on Cale Moore of Williamsburg. Another takedown by Aguas. And a quick pin. So tough night for Jamie Dolash as she goes down again, losing twice by fall.
Now wrestling for Williamsburg, Madison Kirby. And for your Trojans, Addison.
A takedown by Moore. And Jeanette trailing early in the first period here at 160. Three to 3, the team score, as South Tama got a decision win at 145 and gave up a decision loss at 152. This is Kinzer Jeanette working underneath against Cale Moore. Over on the girls' side now, we've got Addison Klink wrestling against Madison Kirby of Williamsburg. Klink in trouble early here, though, as Kirby has her fairly flattened out on one shoulder. Back point's coming. Klink trying to bridge through it. Trying to get the hips pulled down heavy, but Kirby pretty strong on the top half there. And the pin. Madison Kirby comes away with a win by fall.
Now wrestling for Williamsburg, Hayden Wade. For your Trojans, Taylor Johansson.
Jeanette still trailing 2-0 against Cale Moore on the boys' side. 10 seconds left to go in the first period on that one.
Varsity. We will go right into boys varsity on both mats.
So this is Taylor Johansson, another freshman for South Tama, taking on Hayden Wade from Williamsburg. Johansson trying to defend a takedown, but a midsection shot there by Wade will score 2, and Johansson forced on defense. And the win by fall for Hayden Wade. South Tama girls come away with 2 wins. Maylee Ellsbury wins by fall over Shannon Finn, and Autumn Ellsbury wins by decision against Paige Walter. Elsewhere down the lineup, Addison Klink lost by fall to Madison Kirby. Taylor Johansson lost by fall to Hayden Wade. And Jamie Dolash lost by fall to Alexis Aguas. Also, Abigail Chima lost by fall to Phoenix Grip. So now we're going to have boys matches. That's the conclusion of the girls' action for the night.
Now wrestling for Williamsburg at 170, Carson Greer. And for your Trojans, 170 pounds, Madden Martinez.
And so at 170, it'll be Madden Martinez.
With the fall for Williamsburg at 160.
For Williamsburg, it'll be Carson Greer.
82, please report.
Kinzer Jeanette goes down by fall to the hands of Cale Moore. South Tama now trailing 9-3 as we have varsity matches on both mats here tonight. Here's 170, Greer and Martinez. Big throw there by Greer. Martinez gonna have to, oh goodness. Tough spot there for Madden Martinez as he had to recover, and too much to handle there on that throw from Carson Greer.
At 195 for Williamsburg, Brian Rydell. Gable Dayton at 195. And for your Trojans, Gavin Bridgewater.
And so here's a nice matchup. We've got Gable Dayton, the ranked wrestler, going to jump up to 195 to take on Gavin Bridgewater.
And for your Trojans, Rudy Papaki.
So Gable Dayton, the number 4 ranked wrestler by Hupkey Wrestling. Gavin Bridgewater was last ranked by Hupkey at number 3 at 220, though he's dropped down to 195. I believe IA Wrestle has him also in the top 5. I don't have that in front of me here, but a nice matchup here as Dayton taking the opportunity to wrestle a dude up at 195. And we'll see how these two handle it. Rudy Papaki also in action over on the other mat. And Papaki taking on Brian Rydell. Rydell scores first, and Papaki immediately forced on defense here. Papaki with the scramble, gets out of it, gets to his feet, and he's free. 2-1, Rydell leading. 46 seconds to go. Still scoreless here between Dayton and Bridgewater at 195. 16 seconds left to go. Bridgewater pulling in Dayton there. Trying for a throw, and the clock will run out before any points could be had there for Gavin Bridgewater. Still scoreless, 0-0 as we start the second period. Now over on mat number 2. Rudy Papaki trailing by 1 against Bryden Rydell as they end their first period. So a couple of close ones here as South Tama's big boys going at it here on the heavy end of the roster. Bridgewater on top against the number 4 ranked Gable Dayton. Dayton has been wrestling at 182 most of the season, and he bumped up tonight. South Tama without their freshman Marcus Bear this evening. Bear is healthy, but was disqualified from the PCM tournament and is forced to sit out this competition. Should be back this weekend at Ankeny, and so that will be the 182-pounder for South Tama as long as everybody stays healthy. But Bear not in action tonight. Big throw there by Gavin Bridgewater. Minute to go. Here's Papaki and Rydell. And a takedown there by Papaki midway into the second period. He's up by 2 now, leading 4-2. Big matches here at the Roundhouse this evening as we've got 2 ranked wrestlers going at it on mat number 1. Another throw by Bridgewater. And Bridgewater, of course, a finalist, state finalist last year at 220. So he's coming down even further. So a bigger 195 wrestling a 182 that's come up to 95. I don't know how that's not a pin there. Back points coming there for Bridgewater as he scores 3 and now leading 3-0. 12 seconds to go left in the second. Back over to 220. The shot there by Rydell. A sprawl by Papaki. He's got 20 seconds to go left in the second. Papaki leading 4-3. And Bridgewater trying to wave off the call there from the mound and gonna go from the bottom to start this third and final period. Final seconds of the second round at 2:20. Papaki maintaining his 4-3 lead. Papaki yet to lose in this season as he joined the Trojans roster after the Christmas break. Has gone undefeated in their double duel at Solon and at PCM, took a first place win. Bridgewater also got a first place victory. He's had a very dominant season so far. Leg lift, big throw there by Gavin Bridgewater as he's in control, 6-0. Papaki still leading by 1, 4-3. Acrobatic move there to defend the takedown as Rydell was on a single leg on the left side. Papaki just kind of pirouetted around to keep Rydell from coming to his backside, and Rydell's going to score the escape here, but some really nice defense by Rudy Papaki to not give up the takedown. We're tied 4-4. Still 6-0 with 42 seconds left to go for Gavin Bridgewater and Gable Dayton. Bridgewater leads by 6 and is working on top right now. Papaki rotates around to the front side, has the headlock in. And a takedown, crucial takedown there for Rudy Papaki, scoring 2. Bridgewater and Dayton on the edge of the mat. Dayton getting all he bargained for here at 195. And that will do it. Win by decision. South Tama
285, please report.
Bridgewater wins 6-0 over Gable Dayton at 195.
Division at 220 for your Trojans.
And 6-5. Rudy Papaki comes away with the decision win at 220. Big sequence there for the South Tama Trojans.
For your Trojans at 285, Nathaniel Pomerez. For Williamsburg, Gavin Vesey.
So next up, it's Nathaniel Pomerez
At 106,
taking on Gavin
for
Vesey.
Williamsburg, Lincoln Schropp. And for your Trojans, Cale Graff.
At 106 for South Tama, it's Cale Graff. He's wrestling Lincoln Schropp. Schropp scores an early takedown. He leads 2-0 early in the first period. Pomerez and Vesey still neutral. We started this one at 145. And so we're about halfway through here, as we've got 106 and 285 up on the mats right now. 4-0 as Schropp scores again against Cale Graff over on mat number 2. Schropp on top, 50 seconds to go left in the first. Still scoreless between Vesey and Pomerez at 285. And a pin for Lincoln Schropp against Cale Graff.
$113.
South Tama will be open at 113 and will give up a loss by forfeit.
Take the forfeit at 113. 120, please report.
Pomerez and Vesey in the first period, still scoreless. Williamsburg leading this duel though, 21-9. South Tama's got some wins, but they've come as decision victories, and so low scoring attack here by South Tama, and they trail in the duel.
Eli Brennan.
Dual score. And here is the 120-pound bout between Eli Brannon of South Tama and the number 2 ranked Gavin Jensen of Williamsburg. Jensen quickly scores a lightning fast takedown against Brannon. They go out of bounds. A 1-point escape scored by Gavin Vesey at 285, and so he leads by 1 against Pomerez. South Tama, big throw there by Pomerez, and so he scores 2. And there we go. We're tied at 2 now as Pomerez got the takedown. Vesey has 2 escapes. 54 seconds to go left in the second period. Eli Brannon in trouble here against Gavin Jensen. Just a bigger bodied, older, more mature looking wrestler out there. Big throw there by Jensen. He leads 4-0 against Brannon. Brannon, a district qualifier for South Tama last year, has been a real strong contender in the lightweight side, along with Amari Chavez and Mikhail Bear. Back to the heavyweight bouts here. Tied at 2. Vesey pushes Palmeraz to the out-of-bounds area. They'll go back to the middle. Brandon just trying to stay off of both shoulders. And there is the pin. Eli Brandon will take the loss.
120 for Williamsburg, Gavin Jensen.
To Gavin Jensen.
126.
And the team score now 21-9. And next up, it'll be Amari Chavez.
126 for Williamsburg, Anthony Fenton. For your Trojans, Amari Chavez.
And Chavez taking on Anthony Fenton of Williamsburg. Chavez coming in the number 3 ranked wrestler at 126, was a place winner for South Tama last year in his first trip to state. Looking to do more damage in his junior season here. Still tie score here as we start the 3rd period at the heavyweight round. Palmeraz and Vesey still working neutral. Headlock in place here for Chavez against Fenton, pushing him near the end of the circle. Quick little step around there by Chavez. He quickly scores 2, leading 2-0. Amari Chavez with 1:12 to go in the first period. Palmeraz and Vesey. Couple of big horns locked here in the middle. Not a ton of movement here. We've seen a couple throws, but a lot of the action has been on their feet tonight. Minute to go left in the 3rd period. Tie score here at 285. The throw by Vesey was a little too far to the out of bounds. Chavez still leading 2-0 over at 126. Looking pretty solid on top against Anthony Fenton over there. 35 seconds now left on the clock. We're going to go to overtime here, it looks like, unless somebody can put a quick throw down. 6 seconds left on the clock in this heavyweight bout. Palmeraz and Vesey tied at 2. A reversal for Chavez pushes his lead to 7, as he's leading now 7-0 against Fenton of Williamsburg. As we go to overtime at 285.
285. With a fall, 126 for your Trojans, Amari Chavez.
And so Chavez wins by fall.
132, you're up.
Sudden death overtime period here. Palmeraz has been fighting a loose headset all match here.
132 for Williamsburg, Caleb Moore. And for your Trojans, Mikhail Bear.
Caleb Moore for Williamsburg taking on Mikhail Bear of South Tama at 132. .14 seconds left to go. Still no score at heavyweight here. Some hand fighting. Let's see how the decision-making unravels here for these two as the sudden death period now over. And Williamsburg wins the toss, and they'll start from bottom. Here at 132, we've got Mikhail Bear and Caleb Moore. Palmeraz trying for a throw. Can't get it to go. Cheerleaders sent sliding all over the gym floor here as Vesey careens out of bounds. Vesey with the escape, leading 3-2. Palmeraz will have another overtime period to start on bottom himself. But Vesey looking to score a takedown as well. That will end the second overtime period. Palmeraz will start from bottom now. Bear leading 2-1. Jump back to this overtime bout here. And a takedown by Nathaniel Palmeraz. And that will do it. No, excuse me. Out of bounds the call. So the escape. Pardon me. So the takedown from Palmeraz. He leads 4-3. Vesey trying to get wiggled loose. And we're tied at 4. 7 seconds. And we're going to go to a fourth overtime round. No, we're not. Vesey scoring the escape. Comes away with the sudden victory, 5-4 win.
138. Now wrestling at 138 for Williamsburg, Niall Sin. For your Trojans, Drayton White.
And the last bout of the night coming to the mat here. It's going to be Drayton White of South Tama taking on Niall Sin of Williamsburg. You've got a blood timeout over on 132. Mikhail Bear still leading 2-1 in the second period. As we're ready to go now here at 138. Drayton White of South Tama, Niall Sin of Williamsburg. Williamsburg's going to come away with the dual victory here. They're leading 42-18. Jumping back to Mikhail Bear and Caleb Moore. Bear leading 2-1 after the blood timeout. 1:45 left in the second period. Bear trying to control the top half, gets a left leg controlled. Moore gets out of it. Slides free, gets the escape, and we're tied at 2. 2-2, Bear and Moore. The shot by Bear, a double. And he dumps Moore over. Scoring the takedown, leading 4-2 now. Drayton White in trouble over on mat number 1 here. Back points coming there for Niall Sin against Drayton White. White gets to his stomach. It's wrapped around Sin's front half, and Sin having trouble just getting up, but they rotate around, and Sin now leading 5-0 against Drayton White. Another blood timeout. Well, maybe not. Clash of heads there. between Bear and Caleb Moore, and Moore bloodied up pretty good. So 2 blood timeouts, or no, excuse me. We've got the last seconds of the first period coming off the clock here at 1:38. Niles Sin leading 5-0. White working on top here against Sin. Opening moments of the second period. White trails 6-0. Moore looks like he's going to be all right. Still on his 2 feet. Gets his nose stuffed up. And action ready to resume on the 132-pound mat. Mikhail Bayer leading 4-3 with 47 seconds on the clock, second period. Throw attempt there by Moore, defended by Bear. And this one could go a while. Caleb Moore's nose running like a faucet at the moment. And so back at 138, another takedown for Niles Sin. Ten to 1 now after the escape from White. 30 seconds to go left in the second period. Still blood timeout at 132. And the end of the second period, Niles Sin leading 12-1 over Drayton White. They'll start neutral for the third period here. Broadcast reminder, we're going to have South Tama boys basketball live from Williamsburg High School tomorrow evening. It's going to be myself and Keith Kiana on the call. Pre-game starting at 7 o'clock, so if you can't get out to cheer on the teams tomorrow, tune into us here at Trojan Country. We'll have live action for you. Takedown by Bear. And another blood timeout after the takedown. As Moore still having trouble getting his bleeding to stop from the nose. Tech fall possibly coming here for Niles Sin as he's maybe got more back points against Drayton White. And the back points will do it. Tech fall victory 15-1.
Niles Sin.
Still on a blood timeout. All right, action started again. But that's the end of the second period, so we've got 2 more minutes to go here in the third. This is Mikhail Bear and Caleb Moore. We've had several blood timeouts stop the action. And now Moore he's got gauze wrapped around the middle of his face, just trying to keep the nose plug in there. Another takedown by Mikhail Bear. He leads 8-4. 1:36 to go in the third period. Last bout of the night here. South Tama's going to take the loss in the duel. But some nice wins up and down the card here as well for the Trojans. South Tama got a 7-1 decision win by Jacob Youngbear over Brett Santiago at 145. At 152, William Vindee won by decision over Cyrus Mathis of South Tama. That was 10-3 the final there. Caleb Moore defeated Kinzer Jeanette by fall at 160. Carson Greer defeated Madden Martinez by fall at 170. At 182, the Trojans were open, and Williamsburg took a forfeit victory. At 2:20, well, the track wrestling's a little goofy here. So at 195, South Tama Gavin Bridgewater got a 6-0 win over Gable Dayton. Dayton wrestling up to 195 from 182. And then at 220, Rudy Papaki got a 6-5 decision win over Brian Rydell. Nathaniel Palmeraz took a 5-4 sudden victory overtime loss to Gavin Vesey. Cale Graff took a loss by fall to Lincoln Schropp. 15 seconds left in this 132-pound bout. Bear's going to go on to win here. As Moore not really the same after the clash of heads caused a pretty nasty nosebleed.
132 pounds for your Trojans, Mikhail Bear.
So Bear wins 10-5.
Williamsburg taking it at 47-21. Everybody, thanks for coming out tonight. Williamsburg, always a pleasure.
47-21, the final score there. And so quickly back here to the scores. Cale Graff losing by fall to Lincoln Schropp. South Tama was open at 113 and took a forfeit at 120. Gavin Jensen pinned Eli Brannon at 126. Amari Chavez pinned Anthony Fenton. And just a moment ago, we had Mikhail Bear defeating Caleb Moore by a 10-5 decision. And so, again, a reminder, we're going to be live from Williamsburg High School for the boys' varsity basketball game tomorrow evening starting around 7 p.m. And then we'll be back with more basketball coverage on Monday. It's going to be the South Tama Meskwaki Settlement School showdown. It's going to be at Meskwaki this year, so tune in for that. Well, it's going to be another girl-boy doubleheader. That'll be on Monday. We'll say good luck to the STC boys as they head to Ankeny on this Saturday. And it looks like the Ankeny tournament's going to run a boys and girls tournament at the same event, because it looks like the girls are headed there too. So best of luck to the boys and girls as they compete in Ankeny this weekend. Thanks once again to our sponsors. They include Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home, Salt Creek Wind, State Bank of Toledo, Sharn Weber's, Marquess Law, S&S Car Wash, Medicap Pharmacy, Iowa Premium, Mercy Care Tama, and the Tama Pump. Thanks for being with us for a packed night of action here at the Roundhouse. And with that, we will say good night and go Trojans.
My mama died and my daddy got drunk. Left me here to die grow in the middle of Tobacco Road. Grew up in a rusty shack.